Guys, welcome to Brian's Outdoor Videos. Today we are going to be talking about trail shoes, specifically Altra running shoes. I've been using Altras now for about 6 months, and I've tried 3 different pairs of them, and I thought I'd talk about my experiences and things I like and dislike about them. So get started with the first pair I bought was the Altra Superior 3.5s. Now, I didn't really intend on buying these. I went to our local REI with the intentions of buying some Salomon trail runners. And when I got there, I tried a couple pairs on and I realized that they didn't really fit my foot right. I have a wide foot and I have also a flat foot, and they were rubbing, the Salomons were rubbing my feet up here in the toe box. And I thought that was probably not a good thing. So I tried on a few other different kinds of shoes, and I couldn't really make up my mind, so I actually left that day, and then I came home and did some research, and eventually I went back up there with the intentions of buying the Lone Peak 3.5s. Seemed to be the popular shoe of choice amongst most people in the backpacking community. So that's what I decided I was going to go with. But when I got there, I couldn't find anything in my size. At the time, I believe the largest size they had was like a size 11, and I wear a size 13 to 14. So this was actually the only Altra they even had close to my size, and it was a size 14. Now, like I said, typically I thought I wore like a size 13, and I tried this on, and I mean, it was plenty big. I mean, my toe was probably right about here on it, and tried it on. I walked around the store for a while in it, and the more I walked around in it, the more I liked it, and I eventually ended up walking out with it. And then eventually I was glad that I had all the extra room, and after I started getting into backpacking more and more, I realized that that was definitely not a bad thing. So I don't know how many miles I've put on these. Probably backpacking miles, not very many. Like, I would say under 30. But I used them for everyday shoes for the last, or probably 4 months. So they got a lot of miles on them there. The bottoms of them really flattened out pretty quick from being on the road. I ran on them on a treadmill a few times, and that really ate them up. And then we took a family trip to Disney World, and they really lost all the tread there, which, I mean, I guess that's to be expected. It's kind of a soft shoe for that, for walking around on asphalt all day. But a little stats on the Superior 3.5s. Altra lists their cushioning level as light. I mean, it's kind of a minimalist shoe. There's not very much cushion there. The weight on it is very light. It's only 9 ounces, 9.5. I'm sure that's probably for like a standard size 11 shoe. So, I mean, I'm guessing mine are a little heavier than that. The insole is a 6mm contoured footbed, which I'm guessing that means that's why it's shaped the way it is. And then the stack height, which again is the cushioning, is 21mm, which I think that might be the lightest that Altra makes, like the smallest. There might be one smaller than that. And then the outsole is a DuraTread rubber with a trail claw, which is what wore down on these. As far as for hiking, the main reason that I switched was that there just wasn't enough cushioning. I'm a rather large individual, so maybe if you were under 200 pounds, it might not be as big of a deal. But for me, after a long day, my foot would start to hurt right here. I'm just guessing from the constant up and down. But other than that, I really like them. They're comfortable. They breathe very well. I mean, you can get these things very wet, and I mean, this is all mesh right here, so they dry out extremely quick, which was a big plus. But other than that, I mean, that's pretty much the only reason I switched from those shoes. Was just the fact that I wanted something with a little bit more cushioning. But moving down, we have this is a Lone Peak 3.5 mid-mesh. I wanted to try the mid-mesh because on top of my feet being sore, after like a pretty long day, my ankles would start to hurt, and I thought maybe this would offer enough support that we could get past that. Only problem was I ordered these shoes in a size 14 also, and that was not big enough. I wear these as an everyday work shoe now because they're not, like my foot will fit in them, but I mean if I was going on an uphill or a downhill, eventually I'd tear my toenails off in it. I mean there's just not as much room as there is in the other shoes. But even though, like I say, they were a little small, I thought they would be okay for everyday use. They are still very comfortable, and I work outside a lot, so I mean I kind of use these to replace a pair of Keen work boots. So far I've been getting along pretty good. I've had them for about a month and a half now. I mean they don't have any high mileage days, so I don't know like how my feet will feel after a long day in these, but I would like to eventually, when I replace these, probably replace them with the Lone Peak 4.0s, and I'll either go to REI or order maybe a size 15, but I can't imagine. I'd say that'd be too big. I don't know. I'll probably buy these at an actual box store next time. But some stats on them: they are listed as a moderate cushion, and they weigh, according to Lone Peak, they weigh 12.5 ounces, which for a midsole shoe, I don't think that's bad at all. They have a 5mm mountain footbed on the insole, which I believe is why, I mean, this shoe just feels, to me, like looking at this angle, it just looks more blocky, doesn't curve as much, and I don't think it's as wide. So I'm guessing that's probably why. And I've heard a lot of people complain about the Lone Peak 3.5s not being as wide as older models. I don't have any experience with the older models. I just have experience with the Superiors and the Temps, and of the three, this one definitely feels more constricted in the footbed in my opinion. But the stack height is 25mm, and it's the same outsole as the Superiors and the Temps with the DuraTread rubber with trail cloth, which I haven't had any issues with it being slippery. I mean, if I walk into a concrete building when it's wet, they're a little slippery, but I mean, I say it would probably be the same with any kind of outside design, shoe design for outside. But I mean, overall, I really like these shoes. Like I said, I wish they fit a little bit. Wish they fit similar to these two shoes, so I could hike in them. But I'm still getting good use out of them, so I'm not mad. Not as mad. I do wish they fit better, but they don't. So moving down, we have the Ultra Temp. This is my current trail shoe. Like I said, this is what I bought to replace the Superiors. With this having the smaller stack height, I wanted something that would hold my foot better, and that's why I went with these. These are even bigger than the Lone Peaks. Let's get through the stats on it. It is they listed as a high cushioned shoe. The weight is 11.1 ounces. Insole is the exact same as this one with a 6mm contoured footbed. So I think that's why, I mean, to me these just felt like a more cushy version of this. I mean, they fit almost the exact same, and it was a very seamless transition from one to the other. The stack height is 29mm, and it also has the DuraTread rubber with trail claw outsole. I have probably close to 100 miles on these shoes, and the only thing that really concerns me with them is their durability. This is the toe piece right here is just starting to come away. I mean, it's nothing even remotely bad yet, but I mean, I don't know how long that's going to last. Like I say, close to 100 miles, and that's already happening. That kind of worries me. This material here, I mean, it feels like a cheap material. I don't know. I'd say it'll crack eventually, probably fairly soon. But this is by far the most comfortable of these three shoes. I really wish that this was offered in a mid-top shoe like this. After so many miles, my ankles start to hurt, and I don't know if that would help much. But I wish that was an option. But currently, it is not offered. But they are by far my favorite of the Ultras so far. They feel great. Plenty of room in the toe box. I mean, this is also all mesh right here. There's no, like with the Lone Peaks, you have some of this support right here, which I don't know if that hampers drying, and that's not mesh, so it must, I'd say it would hold water a little bit more, but But yeah, these are excellent. I really like these so far. As you can see, all three of them I'm using lace locks on, or lock laces. I'm kind of a fan of those. There's no problem with the Altra shoestrings. I mean, as far as street shoestrings go, they're fine. But yeah, so far I've been really happy with Altra. I'll probably eventually start buying my casual shoes from them. They make some dress casual shoes. I just haven't got any yet, but yeah, I like them. I like the idea behind the zero drop shoe. I haven't had any leg issues with it. I know some people can't get used to it, but I mean, I have pretty flat feet anyways, and it just didn't seem to be an issue. I really like the wide toe box. I mean, I feel my feet, I feel my toes like splaying out like they talk about, like on uphills and on, I mean, just generally on walking. They all have gator traps. I believe they all have the 4-point gator trap. No, actually the Temp does not have a 4-point gator trap, it just has a 2-point trap. But the 3.5s and the Superior 3.5s, they have the 4-point gator trap system. I've always used a pair of Dirty Girl gators. I've used them on all three of these and they work fine. What else is there to say? I think that's pretty much covers it. The only thing I really worry about with this is how they'll hold up to high miles, but just have to wait and see. These I just wish they were a little bit, I wish they fit a little bit more like these two shoes, but like I say, I think that's because of the insole being a little different. I don't know if that's maybe why my foot fits a little tighter in them too. I mean, if I hold these up to another shoe, they look the exact same length, so I'm not sure. But and if these ones, if they were just a little bit thicker on the bottom, they'd pretty much be the exact same shoe as this, I think. But yeah, that's my experience with Altra so far. I'm a huge fan of them. Like I say, I can't see myself using anything different in the near future as far as trail running and backpacking. And the more and more I wear them, the more and more I want to use them for everyday use, hence these pair. But I don't ever want to say never. It's hard to tell what may come, but that's where I'm at right now, and hopefully this video was helpful for some of you. If you have any questions, comment below, and if you like what you see, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.